If you're a proactive musician, I'm going to make a bold statement. You're probably overlooking some missed opportunities, and God forbid, you're probably leaving money on the table. That's what Billy Grisack and I are going to discuss today, right, Billy?
Money, 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 yeah.
That's right. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what's on the docket for this episode. Stay tuned, because you're listening to the Music Marketing Podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Perfect. I'm gonna keep this rolling. I'm gonna blow my nose.
All right,
edit this out.
In there.
All right. This is turning back into the morning zoo again.
I love it, man.
Yes, we are back. Billy is back with me after a 3-year hiatus of our old Music Marketing Monday podcast. How are you doing, Billy?
I am doing fantastic. It was really great to get back in the saddle and do the kind of the reintroduction show last time. So I had a little time between shows to reflect and realize how much I enjoyed doing it. And I'm super psyched and stoked for today's episode.
I am too. And yeah, and by the way, in case you missed the episode before this one, go back and listen to it, especially if you used to listen to that podcast and you're not, if you want to get a little update on what Billy has been up to, the ups and downs of his life. And it's a great story of inspiration. Go check that out if you missed it. But on this one, we are focused on missed opportunities for musicians. Now, this was a topic when we were discussing getting back together. It feels like a romantic relationship. After we didn't break up. We just
Robert. Robert, I missed you so much, Robert.
Billy.
Do people ever call you Robert?
Not unless they're mad at me. No. Not really. Maybe in rare occasions. Yeah. If you're from the IRS, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
But we were, batting back and forth some possible things. And you said this was one of your favorite topics. And I totally resonated with it. Missed opportunities for musicians. And
I see it all the time. I see it every day. Not to mention, I live it myself. I'm Captain Hindsight when it comes to this stuff,
Right, and we probably are made aware of these things by the missed opportunities we ourselves make. But then once you start incorporating them into your music career, you notice them in other artists. So as is often the case with our podcasts, we don't over-plan these things. We pick a topic, but we don't really go into detail about, I'm going to cover X, Y, and Z, and we just say, let's go. I actually made a list that I didn't even share with you, and maybe we can go back and forth on what we see as some of the missed opportunities that proactive musicians make. And we should, for those, just in case somebody's tuning in for the first time, they may or may not know that I'm author of the Music Marketing Handbook and tons of books and resources for independent musicians. I've been doing this for a couple of decades or so. I am an active performing, recording, whatever musician, but you, sir, are the dynamo of independent artists, and you've been a full-time working musician pretty much your entire life, have you not?
I have been a full-time working musician now for probably 45 years.
Wow.
About that, yeah, because let's see, 16, so maybe 42, somewhere in there, 40, I always say 40 plus years, but yeah, 16 years old, I left home and went on the road, dropped out of high school. Sorry, kids. Go back and get your GED, though, which I did. And then from 16, I started playing music full-time and traveling, and I haven't stopped except for a couple of my, health issues, like 2 or 3 times in the past 40 years. But bam, there you go. And I've used my music career to, buy houses, buy cars, buy food, raise children. Done pretty well.
Indeed. And so this is a good combination, because you are heavy on the hard-won experience. You're like out there gigging full-time, and you also, on the side, I guess, have shared your marketing and career advice with musicians. I'm kind of the opposite of that, where my full-time career has been as an author, teacher, speaker, bringing all these best practices together and teaching and inspiring artists. But I continue to play part-time, so it's almost like a little yin and yang.
Right. Yeah. Like I play full time, sometimes for sure in the summer, 6-7 days, sometimes 2-3 shows a day. And I dabble a little bit with helping people with some of my marketing expertise, and dabble in that a little bit. And then you're like, I play a little bit, man, and I'm helping everybody with my books and my podcast and my mentoring. And I mean, we're like flip sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah, I like that. And so missed opportunities. So you just want to maybe just bat back and forth. I'll have you start off with like one of your missed opportunities, and we'll just kind of see how this unfolds.
The number one missed opportunity, and this sounds like a no-brainer, but this is the biggest thing that almost everybody, including famous bands, up-and-coming bands, blow this one all the time, okay? Ready for this? Not saying your name enough at live shows, saying it clearly and legibly at shows. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen bands that are trying to make it so like they get on the bill and like they're the opening act for like a major, like, Imagine Dragons or something. They have like a band opening up for them, and then they get up on stage, or even Green Day. I just went to a Green Day concert not long ago, and they had an opening act, and the band's up there and they're like playing songs, la 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 la, and they go, "Thank you, we are." And don't forget, you can find us at our website,
Roseever.com.
Right? I mean, the number one thing, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a show and I have no idea what the band's name is. Major missed opportunity. In fact, one year at Summerfest, actually a couple of years at Summerfest, we play at every year we play at the world's biggest music festival, Summerfest here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In fact, we're going to be there this weekend. And one year I actually went around and asked people in the audience. I'd say, man, that band's pretty good. What are they called? Not one person could tell me the name of one band they saw.
Wow.
So missed opportunity number one.
That is. Yeah, and that is true. Especially when you see somebody, wow, this band is really good. Who is it? And they don't, or they don't, I mean, at least the band's attempted to blah, 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 we are. And sometimes they don't even do that. Thank you. Good night. Wait, who is this?
And then part two of that, and I don't want to walk on you because I know you're next, but there is a part two. There's A and B to this, is at least have a nice legible sign somewhere on the stage, somewhere with your name. When I say legible, I just saw a band at a Comic-Con. I really like these guys. And you know what they did for their sign? A graphic logo. There was no name. There was no website. But they had a sign up. And when they said their name, it says, "Hey, don't forget we are her." It's like still have no clue who they were, but they had a nice picture.
Right. So
there you go.
So kind of along with that, so of course I like to teach and inspire artists to market themselves. And of course, the first step or the number one thing everybody thinks of when they think of marketing is getting exposure. So yeah, like that live show thing, it's definitely getting in front of people any way that you can early in your career. You can be more selective with the gigs that you accept after you gain some traction in your career. But yes, getting in front of a live audience is the most impactful way, and having people enjoy your stuff is the most impactful way. So in addition to letting them know who you are and what your name is, you want to continue that connection. I think one of the missed opportunities is these random connections where somebody goes, "Oh, I really like that artist," and then they move on and they forget about you, and there's no way to stay connected. So even though it's not as effective as it used to be, I still contend that building an email list of fans, of people who like your stuff, and staying in touch with them, that's the most direct way to build a fan relationship. So at live gigs, have ways to not only say your name, but have ways for people to connect with you. Now, the ways to do that have evolved over the years. The old-fashioned way, and sometimes I even still do this, is a clipboard. And so the handwritten, put your name and your email address. That's starting to lose favor, although doing that is far better than not doing anything at all. But depending on the venue and the size, the next step up from that is having like a tablet or an iPad or something at your merch table where they can actually enter their name and email and spell it correctly, so you don't have to decipher it later and enter it into a database. But these days, I know you've been doing this for a long time. I'm starting to experiment with this more in my own shows and even my improv comedy shows that I also do, is have people just from their tables or from their seats say, "Hey, we want to stay in touch with you." Get out your phone and give them a way to do it right from their seat. And so you can have them text you their name and email. You can give them a simple website where they can go to and just fill it out while they're there. But yeah, I think this is probably the way to do it. And I guess you could do that if they want to get text messages from you. But if you're more email, that's your delivery mode for your information, collect the email. But it's probably easier for those who are interested in the moment to do that from their seats. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, number one, I think you got that one from me a few years ago.
I did, yeah. Well, you had people text you their phone numbers.
Well, Bob, what you're saying is brilliant, but there's some missed opportunities in what you just said.
Okay.
So check it out. Here's what you do. One of the things that talk about the most gigantic missed opportunity of all is communication. It's not a one-way street. So if you're telling people to say, send me your email address or your text number or whatever right off the bat, that's kind of a one-way street with that interaction. What I do, this is like a missed opportunity, is I started off even simpler. First of all, the missed opportunity, the biggest one where, again, I see bands making this mistake all the time. Cell phones are not the enemy. Cell phones are your friends. Repeat after me. Cell phones are friends.
Are friends.
Okay. Cell phones are friends because people love their cell phones, and that's how they share things and experience things now. It's become the sixth sense. That's what the cell phone is now. That is people's sixth sense. And if somebody wants to go to your show and their way of enjoying your show is taking out their cell phone and taking a picture or texting to their friends or whatever, taking that away from them, that's cutting off one of their senses. You wouldn't tell them to watch go to your show with their eyes closed or cover their ears, would you? So this is their sixth sense. Now, missed opportunity. What I do is I say, all right, everybody, get out your cell phones at the show and take some pictures or videos. And then I say, I do a couple of things. The way I used to do it was I'd have my text number right up on stage just for the special text number and have everybody text me their pictures. And then guess what? I just got a bunch of fan-created content. That's number one. That's a missed opportunity right there. Fan-created content. Then what I would do is I would follow up after I got it, and I would thank them. See, I'm starting a conversation now. And I say, thank you so much for the picture. My next question wasn't, can I have your email? My next question was, thank you for that picture. Do you have any more pictures? And they go, oh, yes. And now they're all feeling really good because oh, he likes my pictures. So now they're going to send me some more pictures. I'll be, oh, that is so great. Do you mind? Then I'll send them another message. Do you mind if I post those up on my Facebook or my website? Oh, no, please do. Oh, that's great. Hey, by the way, would you like to get on my mailing list? And I'll let you know when I post those pictures up, and they can tell all your friends and they can see the pictures that you posted on your website. Right. So now I've taken them through like 5 steps where we're creating a rapport and a relationship. Now I'm asking them for their email address or their text. And I usually do. I'll say, oh, by the way, after I get their email address, I'll say, if you want to get messages like when we're in town or, quick messages from me by text, would you like that? And that's like a, 20-80% thing. Only about 20-30% people really want to agree to let me text them. But hey, that's the best way to reach people because they're actually going to get the message. But yeah, so that's how I do it. Now, I have changed a little bit recently by telling them to post it up right to Facebook or right to Instagram with a hashtag big and tall music. And then at the end of the concert or the end of the day, I'll do a search on Facebook. I'll do a search on Instagram for hashtag big and tall music. And then I contact them that way. Oh, I really like your picture. Would you like to be on my mailing list? Blah, blah, blah.
Now, I'll remind you, because we've known each other for a long time. And yeah, I've heard a lot of your amazing things that you've done over the years. But one thing you left out in that, as far as the interaction, you've also, maybe you did this more at your kids' shows, but you could do this at any show. You ask people to text you their requests. What songs would you like us to hear? That's another interactive thing in the middle of the show.
I had a missed opportunity in this podcast. Thanks so much. But yeah, well, actually, at one point, we didn't do it with the kids' show. That was actually for Big and Tall. Okay, missed opportunity, Bob. What do you do with the other side of your business card? One side of your business card can have your name and your picture and your contact, but what do you put on the other side? What I did for a while was on the other side of my business card. I'm always coming up with creative ways to use the flip side of my business card. I would put request a song on my business card, and then it would say, text this number, tell us what songs you want to hear. And I would put that on every table.
Very cool. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And then people would text the request up or like an anniversary birthday. That way people didn't have to come up and say, it's Bob's birthday. They could text it to me and I would know instantly, and I could talk about Bob by reading the text. And then after they texted me all the requests, say, hey, you want to be on the mailing list? So yeah, Bob, thanks for reminding me of that.
You bet. Now, that multi-step thing of sending me the photos, send me more photos, I mean, yeah, that's time-consuming, and certainly you need I'm all about investing in those one-on-one relationships, but I still think there's validity in the live show, the classic, you want to have the direct plea while they're in the room with you to stay in touch with you. You don't do it right off the bat before the first song, but it's a classic thing, you play a song, hey, did you enjoy that? I would love to send you a free download, plus we can stay in touch. Being a part of our community or our tribe is really important to us, and we want a lot of stuff we want to share with you. Whatever your pitch is, because it's more than just I want your name and email. It's like let's continue this party, And so the old way of doing that was come over to the merch table and sign up. So I'm just trying to think of an easier step. And so actually, even though I do play out, semi-regularly, I do these monthly improv comedy shows at least once a month. And so I'm starting to apply these things to that situation. And I've had decreasing returns on asking people hey, if you want to know about my improv classes and shows, come on over. I got this sign-up thing. And I got to admit, hardly anybody does that anymore. And so next time I'm going to try kind of what you said. I'm going to have these little handouts on tables. It's actually going to be my Google Voice number, not my actual cell phone, but it can take both voice and text messages and just say, hey, would you like to know about my upcoming classes? That way I'll do an announcement and so you'll find a little slip of paper on your table. Would love you to stay in touch. I mean, I'm going to test to see if I get a better response doing that than the old-fashioned method.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would work. One of the really important things that's such a missed opportunity that I don't think anybody does this except for the bigger bands, but is having what I call ringers actually show up to shows, especially important shows. Like if you have any label people coming out or other buyers of other gigs or agents, where you make sure you import people that really like you and are going to talk you up in a positive way in earshot of those people, So that's another missed opportunity too, is stacking the deck in your favor, because I mean, here's the thing. Some people might think this is bogus, some of the ideas I have, but the truth of the matter is what's really the end goal here? If the end goal is to get a record deal, shouldn't you do everything you can to get a record deal? If your goal is to get booked at that really major gig, isn't it better to stack the deck in your favor to do whatever you can to get that gig? I mean, because if you're not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. And it's probably going to be me, and I'm probably going to get the gig.
Exactly. Hey, it's Bob here, just popping in to let you know that Billy and I recorded another good 15 minutes of overlooked opportunities and money being left on the table, and we decided to make that a part 2, so that should be out next week, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, what are your thoughts on these things that we discussed, or what other missed opportunities are you aware of? Would love to know your thoughts. So wherever you're consuming this podcast, if there's a way to leave a comment on the page here, please do so, or look us up on social media. I'll have links to all of our sites and various social locations in the show notes here. But we always encourage and look forward to your feedback. So I've got to practice what I preach. I'm not going to make a missed opportunity out of this podcast. So I would love to stay in touch with you even more, and the best way to do that is via email, which I talked about in this episode. So I invite you, if you're not already on it, to get on the Music Marketing VIP list. It's really easy to do. Just go to my music marketing website, which is thebuzzfactor.com. That's thebuzzfactor.com. Look for an image of the Music Marketing Secrets Report somewhere in the right-hand column. Click on that, and it'll take you to a page where you can sign up. Just enter your name and your email. I'll send you that report. I'll send you a couple other goodies like how to recession-proof your music career, 4 ways to attract more music fans faster. You'll also get a free subscription to my Buzz Factor e-zine, which is the longest-running music career tips email newsletter on the planet, folks. I think I could say that with confidence. And again, all that is waiting for you at thebuzzfactor.com. And if you couldn't tell, it's such a blast to be doing these podcast episodes again with Billy Grisack. He's a fountain of knowledge. Hopefully you are learning something and being inspired and having fun doing it. That's what it's all about, folks. So until next time, thanks for all you do to make great music and share it with the world. Thanks to Billy. I'm Bob Baker saying so long for now.